Hi, everybody. Happy 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I'm back again. And this month, I'm really excited to show this VIP card. You should be getting them in the mail soon if you haven't already. And it's an appreciation card, little kit from me just to say thank you for being my VIP. And I try to do this every other month, the opposite month of our hostess clubs. So, so far so good. I get good feedback from it, and I hope you're enjoying making these cards. You certainly do not have to do it. I mean, but I hope that you at least share them with someone if you can't make it yourself. And I was dying to use this Ready to Gobble set. It's so cute. I don't have a lot of people I send Thanksgiving cards to, but just imagine how adorable this would be for a card or for a place, like a placekeeper. Hi, Tanya. Like at the table, you can make napkin holders or name plates or whatever. Any kind of decoration. I just think they're super cute. And I really, you remember that commercial that said eat beef? I'm dying to just write that in on there. I think it's funny. So this set is cool. It comes with a couple of turkeys and a pumpkin and a little ear corn and then 4 messages. So when I sent you your kit, it will be an envelope inside of a green envelope. And I sent you the envelope so that you can, send it out. And so this envelope you'll set aside. And what we are making today is our step card. It's a faux step card. Not so many scores and special cuts and etc. because it's in 2 pieces. So as many of you know, all my specialty cards, I keep the templates in an envelope like this. Sorry, it barely fits. Okay, and then I just label it on the outside. So when I'm looking for something interactive, I pull out my envelopes, and there's a horizontal card and a vertical card, and there's basically 2 pieces to each one. So let me show you the sizes to start with. Okay, let's talk about the vertical card. You may remember last year when I made these cards, there's a video on these cards. It would have been probably last November-ish, somewhere in there. And these are super cute, and you can see it's basically what makes them faux is instead of all one piece, we're just adding a second piece to it. So the vertical, if you want to make a vertical card like this, the measurements are, you can just do a screenshot, 11 by 4 1/4, and you score at 6 1/2, 1 and 2. And then the second piece, the actual step, is 7 by 2 1/4. I think that says, 2 3/4. So I can't read my own writing. I had to write over it. And basically it's adjustable. You can make it different lengths or different widths, depending on what your image is. So there's the vertical one. The one that's for this. Now the horizontal one is the one we're doing today. And again, I'm going to put this on here. So if you want to do a screenshot or something. How you doing today, Sally? So this is 5 1/2 by 8, and I scored it at 1, 2, and 5. And then I'll show you what to do with that. And then the second piece is 4 by 6. And again, you can adjust how wide it is depending on your image. I just have a tendency to make assembly line and make them all the same, but you just score it at 1 1/4. And I wrote on there you know, mountain fold, mountain, valley, mountain. So let me show you how that works. So let's put the envelope aside for a minute, and we'll put all the decorative pieces aside. You should have pumpkin, a piece of the cool tin looking stripe. I call it tin because I think it looks like the side of a tin, but it's just a stripe, and then a solid piece of white. Okay, so here's my piece that looks like this. It is 5.5 by 8, and I scored it at 1, 2, and 5 inches. And you can see I just basically accordion fold it. So mountain, valley, mountain, and you can see this is going to end up being like your card base, okay? Just like that. And so I had to fold it in order to mail it. So there's not too much for you to figure out, but I would get out something and really crease those nicely. The other piece is 4 by 6, and it's just scored at 1 3/4. I have an extra score in mine because I screwed that one up, but so I kept the screw up one. But basically, only one score, 1 3/4, and it should be folded. And the way it's going to go together is just like this. Now we're not ready to put it together yet, but I just want to show you. It's going to attach on the front, and then it's going to attach on the back. Okay. All right. So that's that part. Now, we have a lot of little parts here. And before we put our card together, I thought we could color a little bit. You can use markers, you can use pencils. I'm using pencils today just because I have them out on my desk already. You can use anything you want. Let me grab one more thing here. Sorry, I'm a little slow today getting my act together. Okay, I also sent you I sent you one of like 3 of the 4 messages. The only one I didn't, I may have even sent you all 4. Because the cool part is the Happy Thanksgiving and the Ready to Gobble fit inside of his little sign. And so I thought, well, you could cut it down and decide which one you want to use. And if you don't want to use Happy Thanksgiving on the outside of the card, maybe you want to use it on the inside of the card. So there's that. Okay, let's start by coloring. I'm going to get out my colored pencils. You know, I keep them in like a little bag here, and I have all the colors. And, you know, I swatch mine on a little piece of cardstock, but when I'm just coloring like this, I don't worry about that. I'm just going to pick a couple of kind of orangey colors, and I'm going to pick some yellow for the corn. I'm going to pick a couple of greens. I don't even care. I just want a light and a dark, of like every color. That's all I'm choosing. And then for the turkey, I'll pick a kind of a lighter brown and a darker brown. So I like oak tree. And how about natural brown? Okay, so there's those, and it gives us a place to start. And I may need to grab, you know, something else out, but we'll start with the pumpkins. These pencils are the Colorista pencils. These are the ones that Close to My Heart carries now. And they're just regular colored pencils. You don't use them with water or anything. They are made by Spectrum Noir. And so what I like about them is that they have a really smooth look. Like you don't get a sketchy look with them. And so the first layer, the light layer, I always do a real light hand and I just do over the whole thing and I don't worry about getting into the edges and stuff. And then I use the darker color and I start to blend up the lines, and you can see I am not super careful about these things. I just, and I always feel like people talk about my coloring like it's really good, but I'm like, if you only knew. And then you can see I did the lines in the yellow, and I'm doing kind of a swath on each side of each black line. I know it's upside down. It's just easier for me to hold on to the stem. Okay, now I'm going to take the darkest color and I'm going to do the edges. Now I'm going to use a little pressure and I'm going to really make sure my edges are colored because we really want the pumpkins to, you know, be, there we go, a little darker in certain spots, right? Now, I'm just gonna real light with this last color go over the whole thing again, just to blend it all together. All right, same thing here. Dark around the edges. And I try to use a flat side of my pencil, because if you use the tip, you get more of a scratchy look. So, and you can see I hold my pencil kind of sideways. I love all the shades too. You know, there's actually 4 different packs of these pencils, and Close to My Heart carries 3 of them, and they're super reasonable. I have used gobs of pencils, gobs. I have Prismacolors. I have art pencils from school when I took art classes. I have everything. You just can't even imagine how many I've got. And I'm going to color in his little beak orange while I have orange out here. And his feet. What I find with these is they go on super smooth. That is hard to find in a colored pencil. They're often kind of a scratchy look. Okay, now I picked up yellow, so I'm gonna color everything yellow that needs to be yellow, which is the corn, and I'm just gonna color it all in. Now, this does not need to be a work of art because, I mean, odds are this is not going to be kept in someone's, you know, stash forever, right? I mean, we're just coloring today. Okay, so greens, I'm gonna do light, again, a light touch all over like that. I gotta turn this around so I can hold it. Light touch all over. And I think I'm gonna do a little bit of green on the pumpkin stem, and I'm not putting very much on there. And now I'm gonna take the darker green I pulled. It's a foliage green. I think it's got a lot of blue in it, but I don't know. We'll see. And I'm gonna go at the base, and then I'm just gonna kind of go up the edges a little bit, like that. I want some of the light to show the base, and up the edges a little. And then I'm gonna do a little of the darker green on the pumpkin. Okay, now we're ready for brown. Now, before I go to the turkey, whereas the main thing I wanna use for brown, I wanna put a little bit of brown on the stems. I'm using a firm touch and going over that green. And what happens is it all kind of blends together. It looks more real. It has some green tone in there. And then the other thing I want to do is I want to use the brown just a little bit on the edge of the pumpkin. Sorry, I keep doing that on top. Okay. Just a little at the edge, like a shadow, like that would be a shadow. I just think it looks a little better. You don't have to do that. That's what I'm doing. Okay, now we're ready for the turkey. I have the lighter color. I'm gonna do all over. Just like this. And I'll go ahead and do the feathers too. Okay, now before I move to the darker brown, I just want to put a little extra shading like under each line, under his neck, under each of the feather lines, and a little bit around the edge. I'm just doing a little darker, okay? Can't pick it up. So you can see what I did. It looks a little sketchy. This is oak tree. I don't know if it's dark enough. We'll find out. So for the darker brown now, I'm just gonna do areas where I really think there would be a lot of shading. It's not very dark, but it looks pretty good. And then I'm just gonna real light, just like I did with the pumpkin, go over the whole thing just to blend it all together, blend the two colors together. And then, I know this is really lame of me, but I don't really remember what color like turkey feathers are. I think they're mostly brown with a little darkness. So this turkey is a little weird. But, so maybe I'll grab pink or red. Just, we'll do this in red and maybe the tips. I remember like in school, right? You do, I need to see a picture of the turkey. I know they don't have red feathers. I'm sitting here putting red feathers on them. You can do anything you want, seriously. That's funny. You live in such a wilderness. I'm looking outside and I see squirrels and buses go by my house every half hour during the day. Seriously. Okay. I don't have, one thing these sets don't have is a really great black. And so I'm just going to use dark timber, and it's pretty dark, but I would probably get out something else if I wanted black, because I would really want it to stand out. I'm going to do the little sign real dark like that too. Okay, turkey more or less done. All my pieces are more or less done. Let me put my pencils away. One other thing I really want to do is I really want to put those aside. I kind of want to edge this piece with a color. Now you can pick any ink. You could use your colored pencils and just shade the outside edge. I just grabbed my mocha ink. You wouldn't have to do this at all. And just, you know, sponge around the edge of it. And the only reason I'm doing that is because it's just so stark, right? Okay, so here's all our pieces. I'm gonna set those in a pile. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this foldy piece, and you wanna put adhesive on these pieces. Now, this is shortbread, and there's two sides. There's a light side and a dark side. The dark side's the actual color of the piece, and I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive on those. Now, when this card is folded up, you can see at the bottom. It's not going to show. So but the top definitely will. So you want to put it so it has a little border around, but not a big border. Kind of centered like that. It'll be what shows on the side. What I found in doing these cards is after you put everything together, it's so annoying to try to put this piece on the side. So like on this card, for example, I just put a little strip, you know, here and here, and I did it after the fact. And you can see once it's all put together, it's a little trickier than if you do it now. So I'm just gonna do that now. Now we're ready to put this in place. So you can see your 4x6 piece is kind of open like this, folds like this. We are going to put adhesive on the back at the bottom of the long side, okay? We're just putting adhesive on the back at the bottom. And you are going to take your card base and you're gonna kind of line it up and try to center it as much as you can, just like that. So it adheres to your little accordion flap right on the front. Can you see that okay? I hope so. Now we're gonna fold our card all up flat and turn it upside down. This is the front. Turn it over. And now we're gonna put a little bit of adhesive right here on this side of the flap. And then when you fold it over, it's gonna adhere to the back of your card. So now you have made your faux step. You see that? So we adhered it just a little strip there and just a little on the front. Now it's just a matter of decorating, and you can do anything you want, but I used pumpkin. You can use the light or the dark side. I love the dark side on this one. I think it looks really nice. So I'm just gonna kind of center it on here like that. And then I'm gonna put my stripes, and the other side is polka dots. You can pick that too if you prefer, but I like the stripes. You know I'm a sucker for those crazy stripes. No matter whether they go sideways or up and down. Now at this point, I put this in here just because the background would be so busy, but you don't have to use it. I mean, look how cute this is. You can decorate this and just keep the background with just the stripes, you know? Or you can decorate this. And so I'm gonna show you this way. And my tape runner's getting all gummed up. I'm gonna switch to my liquid glue. Okay, so we're just gonna put that centered like that. And then we have our little turkey. One thing I like about this card is that it is one that I didn't do a lot of dimension with it, so you can pop it into the mail without any trouble. But if you wanted to add, you know, a little dimension to it, like a little square or something of foam, you know, you could add that to the bottom. And it doesn't even have to be all within your white square or whatever. let's see. I think I'll tuck that in over here. Now, these messages you can choose. I love the Ready to Gobble. And so I'm going to trim it down. And I just want to make sure it's going to fit without any trouble, right? Put a little glue in there. Just like that. I love it. I love it. Now, you can put your message on the inside. You could, I made it white because the background is so dark. So you can put it in here, Happy Thanksgiving, or you can put it up here, Happy Thanksgiving. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the outside. And I kept thinking how awesome this would look, like sitting, you know, in front of everybody's plate, you know? Isn't that cute? Could put your menu, what you're having for the day on the inside as a memory, or you could do Christmas cards like this and put a photo of your family. You can add some bling to this if you want. There's, you know, you could add sequins or a little glitter or shimmer. I don't think you'd have to. If you wanted to put, you know, Happy Thanksgiving on the sign, I gave you that also. So, love it. The Grateful for You is a really great message for the inside. If I gave you that one, I can't remember, but for some reason I thought I gave everybody all of them. And for some reason I didn't do that to myself. But anyway, there you go. There is the cool VIP card of the month. I hope you love it and I hope you make it. I mean, that didn't even really take me 20 minutes and it's because I was yapping. I mean, really. So there's that, and it fits right into your envelope. You could mail it to somebody, right? Great. The other thing one more time, let me just show you the one I made last year. I think it's super cute, and see, it opens, where you can put Merry Christmas or whatever on the inside. On Friday, I am going to go live sometime in the morning. Fridays are harder for me because sometimes I'm here, sometimes I'm not here, sometimes I'm running around. But I am going to do the cards from the special. Let me show you. I got my Joy of the Season special in the mail, and I can't wait to pop it open and make some cards. I'm not going to even open it. I'm not going to even touch it until Friday. I'll make a couple of cards together, and that way you can see how it comes and what you need to do if you decide to make these cards. These are like really simple, fast cards. So if you find that you're a little short on time, that is a great way to go. Let's see. I still have some of these cozy up dots left. Huh, look how cool those are. Oh my gosh. I love the little hearts. Look at that. Oh, I wish I had enough hearts to give everybody hearts. I love it. I love it. These are the cozy up dots. I have no idea if they're still available or not, but the colors are perfect for this fall card. So you surely have stuff in your stash like crazy that you could add a little bling. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Short and sweet today. And I hope you love the little turkey. And it would be real cute, colored with markers too. So, ta-da! And let me know if there's anything else you're dying to see. We only have a couple more lives before the new catalog is going to be revealed. You are all on my catalog list, so you'll start getting these catalogs probably in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Week and a half to 2 weeks. It's not very far away. So we'll be switching to the new catalog. So I'm trying to finish up my fall stuff. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.